Jurgen Klopp returns to coaching. Mbappe becomes favourite for the Golden Ball. Florian Wirtz transfer to Manchester City. All of this and more in today's episode. Hey everyone, welcome to our roundup of the top football news. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. If you've already subscribed, let's get started. Mohamed Salah could not hold back tears after Liverpool's elimination by PSG. Perhaps these were tears of farewell, as it is unknown whether he will remain at the club next season. Mo's services have been offered to Barcelona. According to Diario Sport, the Egyptian's agent has already held talks with representatives of the Blaugrana. Barca is not against signing Salah, but on condition of a significant reduction in his salary. Will Mo agree to reduce his financial appetite for the sake of Barcelona? The answer to this question is ambiguous. On the one hand, negotiations on a new contract with Liverpool have reached a dead end precisely because of money. On the other hand, if Salah seeks new challenges, like Lewandowski in his time, he may accept Barca's conditions. Having won all possible trophies with Liverpool, why not try to do it with another club? Although, of course, his move to another European club instead of extending his contract with Liverpool would be a surprise. Elimination from the Champions League significantly reduced Salah's chances for the Ballon d'Or. According to Goal, he was in first place, but Mbappe and Rafinha were closing in. If someone from the Barcelona-Real Madrid pair wins the Champions League, it will increase Mbappe's or Rafinha's chances for the award. In my opinion, Rafinha deserves the Ballon d'Or the most this season at the moment. He has repeatedly helped his team in important matches, unlike Salah, who disappeared in 2 important matches against PSG. Bookmakers still consider Mbappe the main contender. Do you agree with my opinion? Write what you think in the comments. When Newcastle United passed into the hands of the Sheikhs, jokes about the acquisition of stars like Ronaldo or Messi were heard everywhere. Some seriously expected spectacular transfers. However, reality turned out to be more prosaic. The invitation of Eddie Howe and the signing of promising young players such as Bruno Guimaraes and Alexander Isak made the Magpies a significant force in the Premier League. Despite this, due to high competition in the Premier League, Newcastle cannot establish itself in the European Cup zone, although in other championships it would undoubtedly fight for places in the Champions League. However, the Magpies seek to change the situation. According to The Telegraph, the club has launched Project 2030, the goal of which is to turn Newcastle into a leader in English and European football within 5 years. This summer, the club plans not only to retain key players, but also to strengthen the squad. Eddie Howe remains in his position, as the club sees him as a coach for the long term. Now all the Magpies' thoughts are focused on the League Cup final. Victory in it will be an important step towards constantly winning trophies, as happened with Manchester City after winning the FA Cup in 2011. Newcastle also plans to build a new stadium on the site of St James's Park, which will accommodate about 70,000 spectators and will cost £1.5 billion. The club also plans to rejuvenate the squad. One of the key tasks is to reduce the income gap between Newcastle and the Big Six. Over the past year, the club earned £320 million, while Tottenham, for example, earned £539 million. Due to economic constraints, the Magpies cannot yet afford high-profile transfers, but once the club reaches the income level of the Premier League leaders, it will be able to fully realise the Sheikh's ambitions. Virgil van Dijk was seen talking to the president of PSG and the club's sporting advisor, Luis Campos. Rumours have emerged about a possible move of the Dutchman to PSG. However, according to RMC Sport, Van Dijk was only apologising to Campos for an incident that occurred during the previous match. Van Dijk stated that he does not know where he will play in the future. "I don't know what's going to happen next season. If anyone says they do know, they are lying to your face. Contract on hold? Nothing on hold. I keep saying same things. If there is news, you will know it. I don't even know myself." In addition to PSG, Bayern and Real Madrid are also vying for him, and Al Hilal has offered him a contract of €20 million per year. Manchester City has held talks with Bayer Leverkusen midfielder Florian Wirtz. The citizens see him as a replacement for Kevin De Bruyne, who is likely to leave the club this summer. Transfermarkt values Wirtz at €140 million, but Bayer Leverkusen may ask for even more. In the event of a transfer, Wirtz would become the most expensive transfer in the history of Manchester City and the Premier League. Wirtz is likely to leave Bayer Leverkusen as he has outgrown the team's level. The only question is where he will continue his career. Bayern Munich is also interested in him, but is unlikely to pay such a sum. Furthermore, Bayer Leverkusen would not want to sell their star to their main competitor. Serge Conceição has not lived up to expectations. Milan has dropped to 9th place in Serie A and was eliminated from the Champions League. The club's management is considering replacing Conceição with Massimiliano Allegri, who would be paid €5 million per year. Allegri has extensive experience in Italy and European competitions, but his style of play is similar to Conceição's. However, Allegri knows how to achieve results even in difficult conditions. Furthermore, he is eager to prove that he was written off too early. The candidacy of Antonio Conte is also being considered, who could be brought in by sporting director Fabio Paratici. The decision will depend on whether Conte can leave Napoli. Chelsea continues to actively pursue young talents. In addition to Joe Bellingham, the Blues have also turned their attention to Barcelona midfielder Gavi. Rumours of his possible move to Chelsea have been circulating for quite some time. When asked by a journalist about the possibility of moving to Chelsea, Gavi replied that Pedri deserves the Ballon d'Or more than any other player. Such an evasive comment only fueled rumours of a possible transfer. However, according to many experts, Chelsea first of all needs to focus on signing a quality centre-forward. This position is the most problematic for the team, but for some reason the club ignores it. Despite the acquisition of new players, Chelsea still does not have a forward capable of guaranteeing stable performance. This situation arose during Pochettino's time and is now repeated under Maresca. Perhaps the Blues have some clever plan and we will soon see a high-profile transfer. But at the moment, Chelsea urgently needs a striker if they want to compete for the Premier League title and perform successfully in the Champions League. Arsenal once again failed to win the Premier League this season, and the club plans to significantly strengthen the squad this summer. According to media reports, sporting director Andre Berta, whom Arsenal plans to appoint, is already working on the transfers of Bruno Guimaraes from Newcastle and Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. Newcastle is ready to sell Guimaraes for £60 million if they do not qualify for the Champions League. Zubimendi, who previously turned down Liverpool, is now ready to move to the Premier League. Andrea Agnelli is eager to return to Juventus due to pressure from the Serie A leadership and a long ban for the capital gains case. The club is currently owned by John Elkann through the family company EXOR, and Agnelli has supposedly stepped away from business. Agnelli plans a comeback to Juventus, but not as president, but as owner. He has warm relations with John Elkann, which will help to negotiate. According to La Stampa, Agnelli wants to buy the club from Exor together with an outside investor. Agnelli has several options, such as the cryptocurrency giant Ripple, which recently acquired about 8% of Juventus's shares. There are also rumours that Red Bull has long wanted to acquire a team in Serie A. Together with Agnelli, the company will have excellent chances for one of the greatest clubs in the history of Italian football. As Tuttosport notes, for Red Bull this is a potentially very profitable deal, and it's not just about football. The company intends to work more actively with the Italian market, and the acquisition of Juventus will greatly help. According to the source, Agnelli has been negotiating with Red Bull for several months. If Andrea manages to reach an agreement with the company, and then with Exor and John Elkann, then the club will face big changes. Agnelli already has a candidate for the position of head coach. And who do you think it is? Of course, Jurgen Klopp. The German specialist promised not to train in the Premier League anymore, but said nothing about Italy. Juventus will have to update the squad, and the arrival of Red Bull will help financially. Klopp is one of the best coaches in the world for rebuilding, patient, does not panic when there are no results, and works qualitatively with youth. That's it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Keep watching for more football action and have a wonderful day.